Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. He's just another Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford. Boots is just another Terence Crawford. Is that what Eddie Hearn is thinking to himself right now? And I'm just another Bob Arum. I'm Arum, Bob Arum. And I don't like this. Now, welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Boom! Look, man. Eddie Hearn can't deliver for Jaron Boots Ennis. And let me be careful to not say he can't. That's a very strong word. Very strong word. He can deliver. He doesn't want to deliver. You know why? Because he's looking at Jaron Boots Ennis as Terence Crawford and himself at Bob Arum, and he doesn't want to go down the path that Bob Arum ended up traveling down, losing money on Terence Crawford. Now the thing is this, Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum's contract with Crawford was written the kind of way for Crawford to get certain guarantees. And Bob Arum didn't want to honor the contract because he lost some money. Hemorrhaging. So now you saw what happened, man. Bud left that man, sued him. They settled out of court. Bud got paid. Eddie Hearn is saying, shit, I ain't going through this. What he has in Boots is as an outstanding fighter. Many people have pegged Jaron Boots Ennis to be the next face of boxing, pound for pound great, right? That's what the young boys say. Facts, right? Okay. That is a fact. But you got to invest in the man. You got to invest in him. Now, what I want to say is this. I do think Jaron Boots Ennis, man, is going to yield beyond handsome returns for any promoter he works with. But you can't be out here afraid to goddamn invest in the man. And for those of you saying, well, damn, Eddie Hearn's supposed to be the dollar bill, y'all. He's supposed to be the $1 million man. You know what I mean? Ed DiBiase. Oh, what happened here? What happened here, cash flow? Ed DiBiase. You know what happened? I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Now, this ain't my opinion. Listen to what this man said. Eddie Hearn. Was it a couple of years ago? It was, who was it? I don't know if it was Lawrence or Coley. There were a couple of fighters he ended up not continuing to work with him. I know Dillian White was one that they were talking about. But the bottom line, Eddie Hearn said, these fighters have to deliver. They will not continue working with fighters who are not going to deliver. We're not going to keep spending money and losing money when fighters can't deliver. And what he was getting at is, if you're not winning, if you're not putting butts in seats, I can't work with you. And when he said that, I was like, damn, all that, the damn $1 billion to the zone and come into the States and trying to take over in the States and sign top talent, and something went wrong with the zone money. And he's under pressure. And he can't make mistakes. And he doesn't want to end up, collapsing the business his father built. So they want to make sure that, it's not personal. I think with Eddie Hearn initially it was personal, where he really had an emotional tie to his fighters. And I think his dad and DAZN and just, life lessons made him realize, man, forget these dudes. I like you, you cool, your wife is nice, you got some beautiful kids. They probably go on and change the world. However, I can't let you, much as I care about you and your family, bring down my father's business. And I think he changed his tune since then. So when I look at what's going on with him and Jaron Boots Ennis, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit is really in line with what Eddie Hearn said a couple of years ago. Just people don't pay attention. I pay attention. I don't come out here. I don't claim to be the all-knowing and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? But goddamn it, I watch boxing and I watch these interviews and I listen. Most of these motherfuckers, they don't listen to what these guys are saying. They can't filter through the bullshit to be like, I know what he means. But we have different experience levels. I know, man, I'm telling you, for the last 15 years of my career was sitting in fucking meetings with, and me, I was in a pretty high position, but with top level executives. And a person will just be watching something, watching charts and be like, you know what? So what happened in June? Because they may see a trend from like January through May. It's like a trend, something like you see things going up. Then in June, all of a sudden, things dip. And now we're in August and July, you see it kind of starts to recover again. And they're like, hey, so I wonder what happened in June. I wonder if that last year we had the same kind of pattern in our metrics. You're like, I guess I'll get to it. That's all they say. But you know what I heard out of there? I'm like, oh, this guy wants somebody to put together a little bullet point paper to actually explain the trend, the patterns, all the different events around June that could have caused for our metrics to actually dip, and what happened in July for it to start to recover, and where are we at now. See, but the average Joe who ain't listening, critically listening, they won't understand that. So what happens, go back there, once the meeting's over, you go back to your little workspace, and you start doing your research, you get your team, hey, this right here, we need to get this man that by the end of the day, you shoot that man all the PowerPoint slides, all the data that he needs, so he can sit there and make an informed decision, or at least be prepared when he goes to brief with his senior leadership. So when I listen to these guys talk, that's how my mind works. And when Eddie Hearn says shit, I'm like, oh, it's deeper than just, I need guys to put butts in seats and to deliver. I know what the fuck he's saying. He's saying, you motherfuckers put me in a bad space with the people above me. They need answers. And they need us to turn a profit here. And as a result, I got to do something. They're putting it all on me, or else it's my ass. So with Jaron Boots Ennis, I mean, look, he can fight. I mean, what's there for him to fight? Look, the thing is, even Eddie Hearn, right? Even if Boots goes on to fight guys at 147. There's no one there. It's like Terence Crawford. He's in the same situation as Crawford. People are gonna sit there and say he fought nobodies. So maybe that's why Eddie Hearn's talking about having him fight Conwell. But Conwell, he's a good fighter, but really nobody knows that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I think Bozy is sitting there saying, God damn, this ain't going like how I planned. I think Eddie Hearn is saying, this isn't going how I planned, but for it to go the way I want it to go, I'm going to have to make some refinements as far as how much I want to allocate to his opponents. And this thing about Eddie Hearn and this model he has for determining, how much he's going to propose to a fighter, for an opponent for Boots, I just think he's got to change that approach, man. That goddamn that formula ain't working. If I give you 10 times as much as you made in your last fight, 17, 20 times as much, then that should be more than okay. You know what? It's not. Because Eddie Hearn has run around here acting like he was Ed DiBiase and shit, the $1 Million Man, WWF, and now people are sitting there looking at him, and that's what they expect. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be penny pinching Paul. And fucking people don't want that. They want the dough. So let's see what happens, because right now, I think Eddie Hearn is just like, I ain't going through what Bob went through with Crawford. And with Boots, I can already see. I personally feel Eddie Hearn's like, this shit's going that way. That's why he wants to do all the fights in Philly. But Boots is quiet too. He's just like Crawford. He's quiet. Boots don't say shit. When you do put a microphone in front of him, look, public speaking is not easy to do. It's easy to sit here and poke these guys in the eye. But, I'm not doing that, because I know it took me a while to get to that point. But, I was forced into that shit, just being in the fucking military. And, as soon as I got to my first base, it's my job. I had to brief every fucking day. So the first time, you uncomfortable as shit. You got your notes and shit, and you're there in the meeting room, and there's like 50 motherfuckers in there, and all the eyes are on you, and you sitting there, and you fucking uncomfortable. But after the first 3 days, you're like, fuck it ain't nothing. Now, the assholes in the room can make it uncomfortable for you. But I think with Boots, I just think that's something that's something they should focus on with these fighters, is just being able to do impromptu speaking and public speaking and confidence and speaking up, and just trying to, work on expanding their vocabulary and being a bit more articulate and not using the N word and all that craziness and cussing when they're doing interviews, and understanding they have a brand. Because I think that helps to grow their profile. And when you grow your profile, you attract more interest, which ultimately could return in more viewership, more pay-per-view sales, and for these promoters to be okay with paying your opponents a bit more money because they know you're going to deliver, where is most important to them as far as ticket sales, overall revenues, and pay-per-view. So good luck to Boots, but I think Eddie Hearn is saying, man, I got some talent here, just like Bob Arum had Crawford, but man, I just can't do nothing with him. And it's just so premature to come out here and say that, but I think it's their situation qualifies for an honorable mention, and that's why I'm discussing it. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. And if you disagree with me, cool. I'll just tell you this. When Eddie Hearn talks about Boots, is he smiling? When he's talking about Boots right now, is he smiling or does he look fucking angry? Okay, don't get him. Just look, pay attention. Optics, have some awareness. When Eddie Hearn was first trying to sign Boots, he was what? He was smiling, wasn't he? Now with all this shit, is he smiling now? No, what is he? He's angry because he's in a pickle. And he probably doesn't like goddamn pickles. But he better figure it out, because I'm sure he signed Boots to some multi-fight deal for some certain guarantees that he's got to deliver, and he needs to make sure that he's at least breaking even, and he don't end up like Bob Arum, where Eddie Hearn's like, I could have bought a house in Calabasas with all the money I lost on him. Y'all keep cool up in the breeze.